A lot can happen in a week. Some of it good, some of it bad, some of it downright ugly. When faced with intriguing developments in the week's news, we turn to a rotating panel of non-experts to parse the good, the bad, and the ugly of it all. On today's panel, Vivian Ho, health economist at Rice University and Baylor College of Medicine, David Branham, professor of political science at the University of Houston downtown, and Jennifer Hadayia, executive director of Air Alliance Houston. Vivian, David, Jennifer, welcome to Houston Matters.
Good morning.
Thanks, Craig.
Thanks, Craig.
Panel, Montrose says it will once again remove the rainbow crosswalks it just repainted at the intersection of Westheimer and Taft in Montrose. They were first removed, then replaced during a construction project last week. Now Montrose says it will comply with federal regulations in a decision that comes just after Texas Governor Greg Abbott Wednesday threatened to withhold road funding from cities and counties with, quote, political ideologies on their streets. Earlier this year, U.S. Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy urged governors to tell departments to comply with a federal effort to reduce artwork and messaging on roads to eliminate distractions. A letter from TxDOT to the city of Houston obtained by Houston Public Media indicates cities and counties have 30 days to comply. As Houston Public Media's Sarah Grunow and Michael Atkinson reported Thursday, Metro spokesman Anna Carpenter says there's no set date just yet for when the rainbow crosswalks will be removed or what the total cost of removing, repainting, and removing them again will be. Christopher Bridges, a frequent visitor to Montrose, told Houston Public Media the whole thing, quote, seems a little bit petty, noting it's just a crosswalk. Houston City Council member Abby Kamen was more pointed, saying Governor Abbott's wasting time obsessing about paint colors. She went on to say it doesn't stop here, and the question is what's next. The on-again, off-again rainbow-striped intersection in Montrose is off again, or at least soon will be. Is this good, bad, or ugly? Vivian Ho, start us off.
Well, I think it's kind of good because if you look at the picture of what they painted back there, it's not really the rich colors of the LGBTQ flag. Like the green is kind of faded. The violet isn't sort of a rich color. And I don't know what this is about political messaging because they did paint white on both sides because it's a crosswalk, which isn't in either the LGBTQ colors or anything else. So, I'd kind of like them to do it right and sort of get the right color scheme. But seriously, I think a lot of the people interviewed, their comments about this issue are right on target. I'm disappointed that the governor is using this it's a crosswalk for crying out loud. Just one crosswalk, and that's what he can post on social media when there are so many other important problems facing the average Texan in terms of being able to put food on the table and afford rent or pay their mortgage. So maybe it's a good thing that they realize that this governor is not providing what Texans need, and they'll think about that the next time they go to the polls.
Okay, good, bad, or ugly. David Branham.
Okay, I'm going to say good, but it's going to be good for a different reason because I just don't think political messages should be in the crosswalk. And I agree with Governor Abbott on this that, okay, you should not have a political message in using federal dollars, tax dollars out of someone's my pocket to do that. Now, I do agree that this is sort of petty. This is not a big deal. It's just a crosswalk. But I don't think that we would have the same reaction if it was a MAGA crosswalk. I mean, MAGA is Make America Great Again. Who really disagrees with making America great again? Except it's a political message, and people would be up in arms if there was a crosswalk with MAGA in it. So I think we should stop this political messaging with federal tax dollars. I mean, there's plenty of other places that you can put your message besides a crosswalk. And on top of that, it is a distraction. When people go to a crosswalk like this, they see it, they want to look at it instead of drive their car. And, especially if it's your first time there, I mean, you need to be safe in driving your car. And so there are a lot of distractions on the road. I know that there are times when I get distracted by messages on the road and so forth. So, yeah, let's take the distractions away. It'll make it safer and make it where people can concentrate on their driving. So while I think this is probably a little bit petty, like they say, I think it's also the right decision.
All right, good, bad, or ugly. Jen Hadayia.
I have a very different take on this. I think this decision is ugly, both literally and figuratively. First off, we do a lot in this city to beautify our roadscapes. We have a lot of roadscapes. We have a lot of concrete. I think we do a lot to make them more pleasant and enjoyable as drivers and walkers and riders. The Pride Crosswalk is a beautiful celebration of our historic and proud queer Montrose community, and as I understand it, is also a memorial to somebody who lost their life at that intersection. So losing it to me is literally de-beautifying our neighborhood and making it uglier. But I think this is obviously representative of something far more ugly and insidious, and that is suppression of expression, erosion of local control, and a quid pro quo of withholding essential resources to advance a one-sided political ideology. I'm also personally quite disappointed that our local leaders have just accepted this and not pushed back. I want them to defend the Houston values that the Pride Crosswalk represents.
Panel, over the next 18 months, the Space Shuttle Discovery is expected to be brought more than 1,000 miles from the Smithsonian in Washington, D.C. here to Houston. At least that's what legislation passed this summer calls for. But a grassroots group called Keep the Shuttle is pushing back against the planned move, as is the Smithsonian itself. The Research Institute argues it owns Discovery in a trust for the American people and that Congress doesn't have the authority to order the transfer. As the Cron's Caitlin Bain reported Monday, the Smithsonian says it has been asked to work with NASA to prepare to move the shuttle, which it says will require an engineering study and significant disassembly. Keep the Shuttle organizer Joe Stieff argues doing so would likely damage the shuttle's thermal protection system. A spokesperson for Texas Senator John Cornyn says in a statement that the Smithsonian is grasping at straws, that all 4 existing shuttles have moved across the country without disassembly, and that Discovery belongs in Houston. The battle continues over bringing Discovery to Space City. Is this good, bad, or ugly? David?
I think this is ugly. I don't think that there should be a reason to stop the Discovery from coming to Houston. We've moved these things to other places, and I think it's just because it's coming to Houston now. It's been made a target. Smithsonian, apparently they want everything to be in Washington D.C. unless we go to New York, which they have one museum in New York. And that means that the rest of the country doesn't get to enjoy these wonderful things that that are part of our history. I believe the Discovery belongs in Houston as well, and I don't think it's that difficult to get it here in comparison to other places where we've had these examples of people moving these artifacts to other places. So I think it's almost political in nature that that they're trying to say that they're the safeguard of it, and then they have the audacity to say that Congress doesn't have the right to move the Discovery where it wants to. We are the ones who control. So I think this is ugly. I think they should step back. They've set a precedent by letting these artifacts go to other places in the country. So I think that this should come to Houston, and Discovery belongs here. All
right. Good, bad, or ugly, Jen?
The cheese stands alone. I actually think this is the petty story. I'm a Houstonian, and I am all for Houston Pride, clearly. But Discovery is in the Smithsonian because it's an American artifact. And I think perhaps it should be a point of pride, or could be viewed as one, to know that Houston is represented in the Smithsonian in this way. And I would guess that far more people are going to see and learn about Discovery if it's in the Smithsonian than if it's here in Houston. So I think the squabble over its relocation is a bit misdirected. I say leave it be, end of story. But what this brought up for me, which I think is an important point, is the importance of the repatriation of artifacts from the Smithsonian that have been wrongly acquired for many years and not returned to their countries of origin. And I understand that the Smithsonian adopted a policy a few years ago that they would repatriate those artifacts, but very little has been done. So let's take the millions of dollars that it would require to move Discovery out of where it is perfectly fine and being viewed as the artifact of history that it should be, and let's focus on returning those artifacts that truly don't belong to Americans back to where they belong.
Okay, good, bad, or ugly, Vivian?
So I think it's ugly, and I see truth in both what David and Jennifer have said. I mean, when I was reading the article and the point about the heat shield would be damaged, during the move, and I'm like, it's not going back into space. You know, what do you care whether the heat shield works or not? And you know what Jennifer is saying about, well, okay, I've been to that Air and Space Museum. I've been there twice. I really enjoy it. But I guess this is why I'm a social scientist and not, a natural science. It's fine. I got to see it. Going there, the highlight of going to that museum actually wasn't the space shuttle. There's a bunch of really cool stuff there. Like there's a Concorde airplane, which I enjoyed. So I don't see all the need to sort of bring that shuttle here. And, you know, I'm just thinking, yeah, fine. Our fine Senator Cornyn got us $85 million in the bill to move the space shuttle. And I'm kind of like, oh, maybe we could use that $85 million and like pick something else in the Smithsonian that we would like here that would, you know, kind of attract people to come. So that's the economist in me talking.
But I mean, in order to see this stuff in the Smithsonian's, right, you have to go to D.C. And you can spend 6 months in D.C. visiting the Smithsonian's. It's all there in one spot. Why can't we spread this across the country? I think this is something that we should do. We should spread this across the country so that more people have a chance to see it. I mean, not everybody can go to D.C. If you're a Houstonian, you want to see Discovery, it's a lot easier to see it here in the city of Houston. And in all honesty, the people in Houston are the ones who probably want to see it the most. So I think there's a demand for it. So while it costs a lot of money, yeah, $85 million, I think in the long run, it's going to be worth the investment because so many more people will get to see it. They want to see it.
I just don't really care about seeing a real space shuttle. You know,
I also think there's plenty to see at NASA as is right now. There's plenty there already for people to come and see.
Yeah. I would rather see like a life-size Lego version of the shuttle. That you would get me into.
What if they brought it here, painted it rainbow colors, and placed it at the corner of Westheimer and Taft?
Well, that would definitely be a driving distraction. So,
well, that's a fair
I
point,
agree
too.
with Jennifer.
There, we found agreement. We got there. Took a while. Vivian Ho is a health economist at Rice University and Baylor College of Medicine. David Branham is a professor of political science at the University of Houston downtown. Jennifer Hadayia is executive director of Air Alliance Houston. Vivian, David, Jennifer, thank you.
Thanks, Greg.